Athens in the European Basketball Championships. We've just finished the match live between France and Russia. Russia 85-65 winners over France. And we pick up second half highlights from this morning's earlier match between Croatia and Slovenia. We showed you the first half highlights during halftime of the France-Russia match. Halftime score was 47-38, Croatia in the lead. Don't go away, because we'll be on in just a few minutes with live another game, Italy-Germany, which should be a tremendous matchup. But meanwhile, Croatia went off to an early lead in this game. Slovenia fought back, got it close again, and then Toni Kukoc turned things up, and Croatia went up by 9 at halftime. Croatia in white, Gorank picking up the foul, Slovenia in green. We saw Slovenia beaten surprisingly by France in the first day. Backs to the wall now as they take on Croatia. I'm Mike Carlson, and with me, handling all these matches, is Roy Birch, and really it is a back-to-the-wall situation for the Slovenes.
That's right, very disappointing. They belong to the same school of basketball as these Croatians. Of course, they were a lot of them were former teammates when Yugoslavia was a unified country, and they should know each other's games inside out. But the fact of the matter is that Croatia just simply have more star players than Slovenia at the moment, and they're playing more as a team, and that was the case yesterday with France. France were the team, Slovenia a group of individuals, and that's exactly how this game is going as well.
Toni Kukoc, you see on the outside, missing. The rebound to the big man Kotnik for Slovenia. Marko Milic missing. Got a rebound from Alabegovic, who wasn't much of a factor against France, but playing a lot better today for the Slovenes. Milic and Gorank both coming through with some points, but no one back on defense. And the big story for Slovenia again is that man, number 9, Jure Zavoj, who has not been much of a factor. Vladan Alinovic drawing the job of defending him right here, and as with France, one of the keys was stopping Zavoj, and it seems to just frustrate the whole offense for Slovenia.
A number of times I've seen Zavoj slap the ball or kick it out of bounds in sheer frustration. He knows that Slovenia are definitely underperforming as yet. They played 2 games, and the way this one's going, this is going to be their second defeat, and they really do have to go away and rethink their whole approach to this tournament if they want to qualify for the quarterfinals.
Can't hand open threes like that to Komezic. Player for Varese will hit it every time. He's got that funny looking shot, but it goes in. Another factor for Slovenia, we mentioned the big man Slavo Kotnik. Well, he has to play well because the other big man, Marian Kraljevic, fouled out with 5 fouls early in the first half, having a lot of trouble keeping Vrankovic off the boards and getting frustrated with Dino Radja as well. Great depth of talent for Croatia. Alinovic, easy pass to the basket.
And again, Zavoj appealing to his teammates for some more effort on defense. He's chastising them just about every minute or so now, and this does not augur well for teamwork. The body language of Slovenia is rock bottom.
Gorank, that's Kotnik. Alabegovic with the left hand, in and out. Rebound to Vrankovic. Toni Kukoc. And with the lead, Croatia just content. We've seen this in so many games. Teams with a lead about 10 points just content to work it up slowly and carefully. Let the other team stay even with them, trade baskets, and wait for a chance to break things open with a run of a couple of threes, a couple of fast breaks. Nice lead pass. Alabegovic puts the ball through. Better stuff from the Slovenes. You have to be opportunistic against a team like Croatia.
We've not seen an awful lot of Croatia from one of their best shooting guards, Velimir Parasovic. He's number 5, and well, spent a lot of time on the bench. But this is typical of the Yugoslavs. They've got so many good players, and they can rotate their combinations a great deal.
Well, Slovenia now cutting the lead down to 8 as Kotnik works underneath. He's got his work cut out for him. Big center plays at Manresa. Dino Radia has been on the bench for a long time. And Kukoc gets fouled by Zavaj.
Here we are, another reaching foul. Kukoc protecting the ball very well. And Zavaj right in front of the referee, holds his arm.
Komazec lets it go, shot put style, it's in, and the lead builds for Croatia. Oh, back with more highlights. Croatia and Slovenia, as you saw, the Croats just content to play back and forth, build the lead up. Slovenia not able to get back in. With 5 minutes to go, the big three-pointer by Alabegovic. But still a double-figure lead for Croatia, and not much of an answer for Slovenia. Slovenia's play really in fits and starts. Moments of good teamwork and moments of sleepiness as Alabegovic puts it in and gets fouled. So that's a chance to draw now 6 points back on Croatia for Alabegovic. Playing a much better game than he did against France yesterday. The foul on Pesanovic, the youngster who plays for Shibona in Croatian League.
The level of intensity of the Croatian defense has definitely gone down more than one gear. And on court for the first time, we've got Velimir Perasovic. Great outside shooter, good team man. 30 years old now, though. Another player who plays in Spain, plays for the Torgras Vitoria club.
And Croatia just relaxing. Slovenia able to get back in, keep the scoreline looking respectable. But they're never in danger here in the game. Mrsic, another young player with Chibona. There's Perasovic. Average in the European Cup, 24 points a game for Torgras.
And of course another member of that fantastic split side that won the European Final Four 3 years in succession. And teammates Dino Raja, there he is. Tony Kukoc, of course. That great split side, coached for 2 years by Bozidar Malkovic. I think we could safely say there is a degree of acceptance of this result on that Croatian bench.
And Pejasinovic, Alabegovic, it's blocked. He puts it in, and the ball comes off to Croatia. With the players on the bench, the final scoring lines for some of these players. Kukoc led Croatia with 20 in that game. Komazec had 19 and 7 rebounds. Perasovic wound up with 12. Dino Radia had 12, most of them early in the first half. And Stojan Vrankovic, only 7 points, but added 9 rebounds and 4 blocked shots, as well as getting rid of the starting center, Kraljevic, for Slovenia. Early foul trouble. He fouled out in the first half. And for Slovenia, Alabegovic wound up with 20 points. Kotnik, who had to handle the loaded center, had 20 and 10 rebounds. An impressive performance for him. Milic had 12 and Gorenc had 11. But the real story for Slovenia, another subpar performance by Zavaj. Only 8 points. They held him to only taking 11 shots, and he only made 4 of those.
Yeah, going back to Croatia now, Mike. They, to many people, have underperformed in the last couple of years. They got the bronze medal in the Europeans in 1993. They got the bronze medal again in the World Championships last year in Croatia. On both occasions, they've lost to Russia. And if I could pick a difference between the Russians and the Croatians, it's that the Russians play for 40 minutes with full intensity. Doesn't matter who they're playing, they never quit. And the Croatian team here, well, really, they're just going through the motions. And that is their problem now, and it was their problem 2 years ago. They've got to play for 40 minutes.
And you saw in the match just concluded, even though the Russians were up by 20 against France, the bench players came in, Kudalin, whatever, and they played hard. I mean, no way they were going to let that lead slip.
That's right, a product of the old Soviet system, very, very professional, state-funded, of course, but a lot of pride in the Russian basketball camp. Not that there's not a lot of pride in the Croatian camp as well, but they do seem to lack that intensity, that almost killer instinct. They win the game, but then don't really stay turned on for the whole 40 minutes.
So back and forth stuff here in garbage time between Croatia and Slovenia. Now, this match was started at 8:30 in the morning in Athens. 14-team pool we were talking about. You see Croatia's lead is 19. At this point, Slovenia is going to have a run in the last 2 minutes and a chance to make the scoreline look respectable against the Croatian bench, as Horvat gets tripped on his path to the basket, and he'll go to the foul line.
I wonder how many times the likes of Brankovic and Toni Kukoc have been described as the Croatian bench. They're still out there, but they're not actually contributing an awful lot.
And as we mentioned earlier, Roy and I were talking about this 14-team tournament, a lot of empty seats for these early morning matches. And we were discussing the possibility of going to a 3-group tournament with, say, 3 8-team, an A pool, a B pool, and a C pool in different cities, promotion and relegation. And looking at the depth of talent now and the balance in European basketball, you would have 3 very competitive groups and not a huge drop-off from Group A to Group B, and then not a huge drop-off from Group B to Group C.
That's right. There is definitely an elite in European basketball nowadays, and it's very, very largely the old Eastern Bloc. Remember, the Soviet bloc broke up into 10 Western Russian or Western Soviet situations and 4 Eastern ones. There's not an awful lot of history of basketball in the east of the Soviet Union, but to have 10 more, or rather 9 more basketball powers rather, in Europe means that there's an awful lot more competition, and the size of these competitions may have to be rethought.
And of course, the traditional basketball countries, Spain, Italy, still producing players. Greece, European champions last time this tournament was in Athens. Turkey coming on strong. The Turkish league itself very strong, but still dominated by their foreign players. But the domestic players are catching up quickly in that country. It's definitely the coming sport here.
Oh, that's right. I mean, you can walk to any stadium in Greece when there's a tournament of this caliber on, and you have to fight your way through the kids playing outdoor basketball, and that is a great fillip to the game, to get kids just playing in pick-up situations. Who needs a referee? All they play is 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3. They've got a ball and a hoop, and they're away. And if you can see hundreds and hundreds of thousands of kids doing that, then Greek basketball has an assured future.
So last minute of the second half, you're watching taped highlights here of this early morning game between Croatia and Slovenia. 91-78 at the moment. We'll be coming up live in just a few minutes with Italy against Germany. The defending champions, Germany, suffered their first loss as they went out to Lithuania. Traveling call underneath. And Italy, who won a close one against Israel, 73-71 yesterday. That match should start in just about 5 minutes or so. So don't go away. Bring you all the action here on Eurosport. Remember, late tonight we'll have highlights of the entire day's play, a wrap-up of everything that happened for you. Starting midnight Central European time, 11 o'clock in the UK.
So a bit of a flattering margin at the end of this game, Croatia-Slovenia. Remember, it was mid-20s at one stage, the margin, and now we are Slovenia only trail by 11. Make that 9.
Or 10, if we're still giving 1 point for a foul shot. And 2 seconds left, and since this is taped highlights, I say you should watch what happens now. Because a quick 2 points for Slovenia. Oh yes, all-knowing one. The final score of that match, Croatia 91, Slovenia 83. Slovenia somewhat flattered by that score line because it never was that close. Not an 8-point game, at least not in the second half. So Croatia played 1-1 here in the European Basketball Championships. Earlier today, we brought you live Russia beating France. Russia's played 2 and won 2. And coming up in just a couple of minutes, Germany and Italy live here on Eurosport. Final statistics from the match, Russia and France.